Even though Donald Trump may have lost Wisconsin last night, he is winning in the most recent poll in New York. In a survey conducted by Monmouth University, the Republican frontrunner is on the path to winning nearly all the delegates in New York. But even with these positive numbers, a new Politico article says Trump's campaign is increasingly falling into disarray.
One of the authors of that article, Eli Stokols, joins us now from Washington. Hey, Eli, good to see you.
Hey, good to see you guys.
All right, so according to your article, since March, the campaign has been laying off field staff around the country. What's behind this?
Well, look, this has always been a rather untraditional campaign. They've always said there's one star, Mr. Trump. And really, up until just a few weeks ago, that unconventional strategy that Trump himself drew up years ago, as we've reported, dominating the media, holding large rallies, not really doing much in terms of organization or retail politics. It's worked. It's gotten him very far. It's made him the clear frontrunner, and he's vanquished all but two of his rivals. But now the race has changed. He's in a delegate fight at this point. This is much more of an insider's game, and this is not Donald Trump's, home turf that he's fighting on now, even though the race is in New York, his home turf there. But really, the fight for delegates is an insider's game. And the fact that they have had a very thin organization, they've had a lot of inexperienced people around the country, people without, a lot of experience doing, political organizing, running statewide and national campaigns. That has hurt them. They've tried to move some staffers around, but when you hire inexperienced people, sometimes they don't do as well. Sometimes there are things about people they haven't been vetted, and so there's been a lot of turmoil and flux, sort of the mid and lower levels of the campaign, and we've seen that play out in a lot of places, and it has left them, without sort of unable to compete. In Wisconsin, where clearly that's not a favorable state for them, but they were not really able to make up any ground. In Iowa, a state where there was support for Donald Trump, early on, but that's a caucus state. It takes a lot of organization. And yeah, he got a quarter of the vote, but he couldn't quite get over the final hurdle because they hadn't really invested in get out the vote efforts, in organizing and targeting voters beyond keeping the email addresses of everybody who signs up on Eventbrite to go to their rallies.
Eli, one of the departures that you mentioned, Eli, real quickly, I'm sorry, but one of the departures that you mentioned here is by a guy named Matt Brainerd. He was the head of the data team. Why is a data guy so important to campaigns this day and age?
Well, this day and age, campaigns are all about data. It's about knowing where the votes are that you need and being able to turn them out, and knowing if that person at the end of the day has voted for you. It's one thing to come to a rally. It's another whether they're going to show up and actually caucus and getting that commitment. Campaigns invest a lot in sort of campaign science these days, and they found that it takes a lot of touches, not just sending somebody a card in the mail saying, hey, vote for Donald Trump, but calling, following up, having people knock on those doors. A lot of campaigns do that very well. The Trump campaign hasn't really bothered to do so. And with this guy's departure, this old guy who was running their data program, the data program, last we heard, was in the hands of a person who graduated from college in 2015. And so, a lot of these, this presidential politics here, and so the inexperience in some of these positions on the Trump campaign is sort of unheard of. It hasn't really mattered all that much at this point because Trump has so singularly dominated mass media and dominated this campaign on the macro level. But once you get down to a smaller scale, turning out votes, trying to win delegates, these things matter a little more.
All right, Eli Stokols in Washington. Thanks for breaking it down for us, Eli. I appreciate it.
Thank you.